Welcome back to Solving Your Problem. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to watch the YouTube channel called Offended Outcast. The title of today's video is Why Introverts Are Misunderstood. Now, for anybody who knows me personally, online or the channel, I'm an introvert with extroverted tendencies, but in general, 99% introvert. So let's get into it.
Let's talk about the silent ones. The ones who don't speak unless they have something worth saying. The ones who choose solitude over social scenes and reflection over reaction. In this world that rewards the loudest voices in the room, introverts are often misunderstood, mislabeled, and misjudged.
Okay, let's just go to this section that he mentioned already, this first quotation. Very true. Introverts are most likely pushed aside, live in the shadows. Think about like villains or anti-heroes in anime. That's why I love them so much. They don't get any screen time. Think about Naruto, for example. Naruto, it's always Naruto, and his shenanigans, his ninja way, F his ninja way. And if you think about the other characters like Obito, Madara Uchiha, for example, Pain, like these characters come into play at a certain point for a limited time, but they have way more to offer in depth than the main and lead character. These are actually introverts, but when they get into their power position, when they're actually where they have to be, then they become extroverts. And yeah, the louder you are, the more attention you draw to yourself. It doesn't mean that you have anything of relevancy to offer the world. That's where the masks come into play. Introverts know their value. Extroverts don't. Extroverts make introverts doubt their own personal power and value.
You've been called shy, antisocial, awkward, maybe even arrogant. But what if none of that is true? Today, on Offended Outcast, we're peeling back the layers of introversion to reveal the truth, not just about personality types, but how society refuses to make room for silence, stillness, and inner power. If you've ever felt like you've had to apologize for your quiet, this episode is for you. From the time we are in kindergarten, we're taught to speak up, make friends, and participate more. Group projects, class presentations, icebreakers. All of it assumes that louder is better. But what happens when your mind speaks louder than your mouth? When your ideas thrive in solitude, not in brainstorming circles? Society isn't neutral. It's been designed around the extrovert ideal. The louder you are, the more you're seen.
I think that's why a lot of people hide behind this extroverted mask, because they got trained, they got brainwashed into believing that if they put themselves out there, if they present themselves like that, they will get anything that life has to offer. I've been in a lot of relationships where women were either INFJs or ENFJs or ENFPs, most likely introverted as well, but there were extroverts as well, and they actually have the same problem. Like the extroverts is just a natural thing, but when introverts adopt extraversy or extrovertness, they think putting on that mask is going to get from life what they actually want, because they try to mimic that style to get the same end result. But it also is kind of self-betrayal and a mask. And I've been with women like that would present themselves the way because that's like survival, independency, boss babe power, feminism, like in the sense of as a protective mechanism, as a shield, as a energy force, right? And not ideology or philosophy. But this is something I've seen many times, and it's just an adaptation, but not in a healthy sense. Personally, I love a woman that's really in tune with her femininity and her introvertness. And think about Sakura and Hinata. I think personally, Sakura originally was more like Hinata, but changed and I'm turned eventually into second coming of the new Hokage, Lady Hokage. But that just has to do with the mask, because if you behave like that, People fear you. You get things done. People get out of your way. People listen to you. People take you serious. It's a tool. It's leverage, and I understand. But personally, I think all the women that have adopted it, somewhere they don't want to be like that. Even my own mother personally started to do like that because the world happened, right? And it's a mask. It's a bolster. It's something that doesn't really add or aid you. It's just something that you think you need to do to belong in the world or be accepted by society and culture.
The more visible you are, the more you're rewarded. Introverts were often told to adapt, adjust, and push through the exhaustion instead of being valued for what we naturally bring to the table. Being quiet doesn't mean we're scared. It doesn't mean we're insecure or unsure. Some of the strongest people you'll ever meet are the ones who say the least. Introverts often carry deep reservoirs of inner strength. We observe, we process, we calculate our words carefully. That's not weakness, that's power most people miss. But because we don't perform our confidence, we're assumed to lack it. And that misunderstanding shuts us out of rooms we could own if only someone would listen long enough to hear our voice. Let's get real. Not every introvert is depressed. Not every person who enjoys being alone is suffering. But the world often labels quiet people as broken. Therapists, teachers, even friends may project their discomfort with silence onto us, diagnosing introversion as a problem to fix rather than a personality to understand. Yes, some introverts do battle depression.
I think it's one of the saddest things, because I remember that I would be the kid that was an introvert and I would hang around with other introverts or be attracted to them. And they were like more extreme than me. I remember like this handicapped girl that was in kindergarten and was my only friend. She didn't say a word. She was silent all the time. Some people thought even she was deaf, like mute. And I just enjoyed her company. And I also noticed that she also enjoyed me having enough of confidence to lead the conversation or to talk about interesting topics. People, basically the extroverts bullied me because of that and made fun of me, not of the handicapped kid, but of me being a friend or befriending the handicapped kid as an introvert and being able to be myself. Fast forward in high school, I used to befriend also a very quiet, shy girl, kind of like an Hinata type. And eventually she blossomed to be a very, attractive personality, wise, attractive woman, and got married and, had children, all that stuff. But she also got into me. It's like I always provided like this platform, so they had the opportunity to blossom and open up in the way that they feel comfortable enough, not to convert or wear an extroverted mask, but just flip the page a little bit, have a little bit of flexibility, have a little bit of wiggling room. And that's the beauty of remaining in your introvert position, in your introvert circle. But it's sad that the world wants you to be different because otherwise you don't belong, because there are more extroverts than introverts. That's very true. There is no problem with that. I think the world needs people that are very energetic, outgoing, need to be around people and need to be productive. This is what makes the world go around. But equally, to balance things out, that's how the universe works. It's duality. You need introverts too, because these are the thinkers, the planners, the ones that create a future, the ones that build a future from scratch in their mind, the ones that have a powerful mind, consciousness. And these things aid the extroverts. They kind of like make them navigate and go into the right direction. Think about the queen and all the ants. The queen is the one that has to be the introvert, actually, right? And all the ants are extroverts, just to kind of project it in a way that seems to be a good analogy.
But that doesn't mean solitude is the cause. Sometimes solitude is the cure. It's our way of recharging, healing, thinking, and being. Not everyone who is alone is lonely, and not every silence is screaming for help. Let's talk about work. because the office is often a battlefield for introverts. You're expected to speak up in meetings, network after hour events, and jump into brainstorming sessions with zero preparation. And if you don't, you're called not a team player. But here's what's missing. Introverts bring strategy, thoughtfulness, deep analysis, and long-term vision. We may not pitch loud ideas in a room full of egos, but when we speak, we bring substance, and that should be enough, but often it's not. In relationships, introverts often get mislabeled as distant. People think we don't care because we're not constantly texting, calling, or making grand romantic gestures. But the truth, we care deeply. We just show it differently. We value quality time, deep conversations, silent companionship. We're the kind of people who remember the little things.
Yeah, that's something that I have had to learn within time too, because of extroverted distractions and how the world operates. I had to really learn to be in the moment, mindful. I'm still doing so, to be living in the moment, but I did learn to appreciate the smaller things and keep them above the bigger ones. So, not complaining about, okay, today I can't take a shower, the toilet was broken, or my meal was cold, but focus on, look, there was food, there was water, and I was able to go to the toilet. Fine, perfect. Thank you very much. That is a blessing in disguise, and a blessing in disguise. Looking at the small things that are way more worthy than the bigger things or the bigger picture that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Sometimes I'm really still thinking about it. Anything in life doesn't really matter. Like, I love my girlfriend. I'm an introvert. My girlfriend used to be more introverted, is more extroverted now. Kind of fears her introvertness, and it's a shame because I can be by myself. I can be happy. I can do my thing. I can make content. I can connect with the community. I can connect with new subscribers or potential subscribers, viewers. And that's something I enjoy doing and still can remain in my introvertness. I don't have to convert to be an extrovert to draw the attention or get acknowledgement. I don't have to do it. And I want to advise anybody that's watching to actually think about it for themselves. Has there been a moment in time that you feel that you were pressured to change your ways as from introvert to extrovert? If so, let me know in the comment section. I'm very curious to hear your story.
Who sit with you in the hard moments without needing to fill the air with words. But in a world that craves constant validation, our love language often goes unnoticed, or worse, unappreciated. Solitude is not punishment, it's a sanctuary. Introverts thrive in stillness. We create, we reflect, we grow when the noise dies down. History is full of introverts who changed the world. Einstein, Rosa Parks, Emily Dixon, Bill Gates. Excuse me.
Okay, that was kind of funny. It was kind of a bit satire, like a sarcastic, Bill Gates. Pardon me. Yeah, Bill Gates. I don't really agree with Bill Gates. I would just scratch and put him on the naughty list. Definitely not Bill Gates. No way. If you want to talk about Bill Gates, think about Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, his son or his predecessor, or whatever. All these type of guys. Think about Epstein, think about Harvey Weinstein, think about any of these type of figures, right? You know what I'm talking about. These guys, you think that these types of people contributed something positive? I think at the end of the day, they destroy more, they ruin more, they do more evil than they do good. But that's my perspective, that's my perception, that's how I look at it. As an introvert, doesn't mean you have to accept it, just giving up my thoughts too. I don't have to agree with the statement, from one introvert to another. I don't believe that type of an introvert is a good introvert. That's not how it works.
Their power wasn't in their volume, it was in their vision. Let's stop treating solitude like a sickness. It's not something to be cured. It's something to be respected. So here's the truth. Introverts are not broken. We are not failing because we don't fit the extroverted mold. We're deep thinkers, powerful creators, loyal friends, and quiet revolutionaries. If you're an introvert watching this, know that you don't need to change who you are to be valuable. You don't need to be louder to be heard. You just need to speak when it matters. And if you've ever been misunderstood for your silence, this is your reminder. You are not alone, you are not wrong, and you are not too quiet. The world has just become too loud to listen. Stay strong, stay grounded, and stay unapologetically introverted. Thank you for watching this video. Please leave a comment, like, and share. Till the next time, let's rise together.
Okay, this is one of those videos that basically a lot of people really enjoy. It's kind of a old school YouTube. It's not the person as an older man and more well developed, well defined, well, articulate and it's not that. It's the vibe. It's the whole vibe, the raw, authentic stuff. That's what people enjoy. That's why he also has like 40K subscribers. Probably has been years, like more than a decade on YouTube, maybe 16 years on YouTube. And yeah, he knows his stuff. He takes notes. He vocalizes his opinion, and people relate. So if you like the video, comment, subscribe, share. If you feel like becoming a member, hey, you're gonna support my broke ass, lonely ass in Bulgaria. And hopefully, do it on time, do it in time, because the roof is going to collapse if you don't do so. And I'm serious about it, right? So yeah. If you like this video, this is one of the ones I really like. I think from the couple I've did today, this is my favorite one. Definitely has more insight. There is more a Stoic philosophic attribute to it. And these things actually make YouTube fun to watch. And it brings us back this nostalgia, YouTube nostalgia. So don't forget, to comment, like, and subscribe. And as usual, I'll be seeing you in the next video.